Welcome to Cambodia, possibly my favourite country in my 6-month backpacking adventure. Hi, my name's Millie and I spent the last 6 months travelling and living out of my bag. We finally made it to Cambodia, the most beautiful, friendly country. Guys, I really think this is up here for favourite places that we went to. We started in Siem Reap and we crossed the border from Laos. Siem Reap, which I personally thought was the capital of Cambodia until I started researching, is a huge city. It's modern, but mixed with the ancient temples of Angkor Wat. One of the main activities that was recommended to me by a friend was visiting the Apopo Centre and meeting the BOMB sniffing rats. Sorry, I'm going to have to censor myself quite a lot in this video as we do discuss some dark topics which YouTube won't like. The Apopo Centre trains these huge rats to sniff out BOMBS, saving hundreds of thousands of lives in so many different countries across the world. The rats are able to clear large areas of land quickly, allowing it to be considered safe for invaluable farm work and other important duties for local residents. Because the rats are so light, they're able to safely cover the area without detonating They have been thoroughly trained to sniff out the dynamite. But even more recently, the rats have been trained to sniff out tuberculosis, which is leading to earlier detection and better treatment outcomes for patients. Apopo Centre is conducting such important work. I'm going to leave a link to the charity down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. But of course, my favourite part was obviously holding the giant rat. The next morning we were up at 3:30 AM for our sunrise tour of Angkor Wat, one of the most popular activities to do in Siem Reap. Angkor Wat is a huge temple complex in the heart of Siem Reap and it's a recognised UNESCO World Heritage Site. For most people, when they think of Cambodia, this is probably what will come to mind. Now, I really can't talk too much about Cambodia's past on here because YouTube will really hate me, but in sum, Cambodia endured a brutal civil war in the 1970s to approximately the 1990s. I am telling this from my memory. I believe that around a third of the population was actually. The evidence of this is everywhere in the country, as we learnt throughout our 2 weeks exploring. I had no idea about Cambodia's past until we arrived here, but the resilience of its people did not go unnoticed through friendly smiles and the willingness to help us silly tourists.
What I try to tell you, when Angkor in Maya in Mexico, so Angkor Wat instruction 1, 2, 3, and then they lock it. So it means that the temple started to friction from center out.
There's a spirit that haunts this place. Our tour guide, as we trekked through these temples, told us how he was just a child when these events happened, but discussed how his dad was brutally and the ongoing impacts this has had. Almost all educated people were. So when Cambodia rebuilt, they had no doctors, lawyers, teachers, etc. And even now, some parents still fear sending their children to school in case history repeats itself. I'd really encourage you to read more about Cambodia's suffering, especially when we take into account the current global political climate. Thank you, good fun. The next day we caught a bus down to Battambang city, which is just a couple of hours away from Siem Reap, and it's another fairly big city in Cambodia. There's a few reasons I wanted to visit Battambang. Firstly, for this bamboo train. This is such a fun little activity, but also it's quite culturally important. Bamboo train is how people from local villages would travel to one another and also carry resources between villages. It's literally a plank of bamboo with like this electric motor, and as you can see here, when two trains cross each other, they basically just lift you up off the tracks. Although this is now quite a touristy attraction, I do believe this is still commonly used by locals as a means of transport. And in fact, whilst we were here, as you'll see in a moment, this actual big real train passed through, so we even got to experience the Hanoi train street, more on that later. You can see this is quite a popular tourist activity from the number of times we actually had to stop and get off the tracks to let other trains go past. So it didn't really feel like it was that rural or that unheard of these days. When I first started planning this trip, I'm not so sure that this was as popular as it is today. I feel like Cambodia is exploding in popularity. After this, we went up to the mountains and the Bat Caves, which I'll explain in just a minute. We are in Battambang, and we're about to see 6.5 million bats fly out this cave tonight. I love bats. I'm very excited. As I've repeatedly said in my backpacking videos, I love bats, so I was so excited to witness this migration. Can you call it a migration? They do it every evening. That's probably the wrong word. Anyway, it was just so beautiful with the purple pink skies at dusk. And truly, we only had one night in Battambang, but we did everything I wanted to. Bamboo train, bats, that's it. But where we go next is a true paradise.